It meant the world to me to hear him say that, bro. Like, I cried, bro. He was jumping around like Spike, you know what I mean? Like he was jumping around. I was wiping tears on my eyes, bro.
Wow.
Like I'm sitting in the IMAX theater showing Spike Lee a movie, bro.
Yo, peace. Welcome back to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I'm Carmelo Anthony here with my co-host.
You know what it is? It's Kazim Famiwide. You can call me Kaz. And this is a Wave original presented by FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Melo, it's going to be a great one, man.
I love these moments. I love these moments, man. Our guest today is the moment, and has been since day one. He's the filmmaker with the hottest right hand. You know, right now he's got the ultimate green light.
That's right. You know him from Fruitvale Station. You know him from Black Panther. You know him from the Creed franchise. And most recently, his vampire epic Sinners, which is killing it in the box office right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Melo.
Let me tell you something. If there's a face in the league of Hollywood, it's him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Welcome to the hook, Ryan Coogler.
Man, thank y'all, bro. Thank y'all, man.
What's good, man? Welcome to the hook, man.
Honor to be here, bro.
Yes.
Honor to be here, man. Super excited.
We're gonna get into so much with you. We've been waiting to have this conversation with you for a minute, so I'm glad we're doing it today. But before we get into all that coming up on this episode, we got with the filmmaker extraordinaire here in the hook. We're gonna talk about the artistic side of basketball.
Yes, we're also gonna get an amazing insights on collaborating with stars in both entertainment and sports.
And of course,
it's a connection.
And of course, we're taking a behind-the-scenes look at the smash hit Sinners and a special Black Panther edition of America's #1 segment, Fuck With It or Fuck Out of Here. But first, Melo, let's start things off in the Bay, man. I heard y'all talking before we turned the cameras on. Let's talk about
we was chopping it up, going back and telling some old Bay Area stories and history and connecting the dots.
Yeah.
I know you we talked about it, but you're a big Oakland guy, man. I heard, and you told me prior to the show, you got the tickets, you locked into the Golden State,
bro.
You know what I mean, to the Warriors right now.
Yeah.
Like, you really bought the tickets. There's a lot of people that don't buy tickets, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of celebrities don't want to buy tickets.
Yeah.
We get tickets for free. Why we gonna buy tickets?
Yeah.
But you wanted to support and show the love. Even though they was in San Francisco, you still wanted to kind of connect those dots. Like, what was that experience like?
I'm from the crib, and it's funny, bro, because like coming up, we were a big sports marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Like in most of our big sports, they had two teams. So like baseball, we had the A's in Oakland, and we had the Giants across the bridge in Frisco. For football, it was the same thing. It was the Niners across the bridge in Frisco, and then the Raiders in Oakland. The Raiders moved to LA for a little bit while we was coming up, and then they came home, and it was big. But coming up, it's like to love one team, you gotta hate the other team across the. You know what I mean? Like the Raiders fans gotta hate the Niners. You know what I'm saying? If you're an A's fan, it's a rivalry with the Giants. And my dad, he didn't have no allegiance to any particular team when it came to that. I grew up later and realized that it was reasons why he was like non-affiliated.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the team when we grew up. He was an A's fan for his whole life, and then Moneyball kind of broke his heart because they broke his team up. You know what I'm saying? So that's when he was like, I'll never be an A's fan again.
Yeah.
But he couldn't be a Giants fan. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why he didn't love the Raiders or the 49ers. So coming up under him, I didn't have no allegiance with them teams, and I also didn't want to get involved with none of the beefs, you know what I'm saying, between the teams. So the Warriors, bro, because it was just that team, it was the one team the whole Bay could agree on. You know what I'm saying?
Like, go to Sac.
Nah. We would like Shaq was like, they like our cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like a sibling because they so close.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna cap when we was bad, and not going to the playoffs and shit, and Shaq was good. We would root for Shaq, like when they almost took the Lakers out. But we Warriors fans, bro, to the death, and seeing them how they runs, bro, like the Run TMC era, the We Believe era, you know what I'm saying, and most recently this run that that Steph and Dre and Klay and you know, knock on wood, now that we having now with Jimmy, you know, it's been a great source of pride for us. You know what I mean? And not with all these complications, because the move from Oakland to San Francisco, it broke a lot of our hearts. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I don't have season tickets in the city. I had season tickets the last year we was in Oakland. You know, the year Kawhi and them got us after Klay knee went out. And we was talking about, for me, like, I'll become close with those guys, man. They support me and my wife. You know, like day after the playing game, we had our Bay Area premiere of Sinners. Bro, and all of them came, bro. Chris Mullin was there, Festus Ezeli was there, Steph and Dre was there with their families. You know what I'm saying? Like sitting right behind my families. And you know, when you know these dudes, bro, and you know you spend time in Oakland.
Absolutely.
And these dudes walk around with no security half the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of, you know, especially Dre, that's the kind of guy he is. You know, or a cat like, you know what I'm saying, like GP2. You know what I'm saying? Really, really like birthed in the soil. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Daddy known for locking cash up. You know what I mean? And being, you know, like that history of it. So we, you know, me and Zenzi, we try to show up, man, and be there on the sideline for them, give them that energy that they used to have when they was across the bridge. Because, you know, it used to be crazy.
Yeah, it's different over there. It's a different energy over there.
Yeah, it used to be crazy in Oakland, bro, back in the day.
Can you explain a little bit more about that division between like Oakland and San Francisco? Because especially with the sports teams, like.
I mean, look, bro, it's all the Bay.
Yeah.
You know, and when it come to like just the street politics, bro, like we got love for Frisco. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a major black hub there. And I don't know if you ever seen a movie called The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Yep, I've seen it.
You know, San Francisco became like the canary in the coal mine for gentrification. You know what I'm saying? Like the tech industry is kind of like birthed
out of there.
It's birthed in another part of the Bay Area called Silicon Valley, which is South Bay. But South Bay and Frisco are very connected. They right there on the same peninsula. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like as the nation ends up going when it comes to the .com boom and bust in the most recent tech empires, you know, it happens in the city first. Yeah. So that black population got pushed out heavy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we super connected. Like, you know, super connected to them when it come to street politics and it's really just one Bay when it comes to that. But with sports, bro,
you gotta pick a side.
Niners fans and Raiders fans, bro, they hate each other, bro. Like it gets like they wouldn't let them play for a long time. And then like when they started letting them play, bro, without fail, somebody getting shot. You know what I'm saying? In the bathroom. And, you know?
I feels like every season we see like a viral video of like some Raiders fans and Niners fans in the crowd against.
And that's what's so crazy. That's what's so crazy because we the same people, bro. Yeah. Like it's you know, you put us together, bro, and especially like with the you know, with the Latino homies in the Bay, like. They the same people. Like the Niners fans and the Raiders fans is known for being crazy because they got the black hole, and Niners fans is known for being classier, but don't get it twisted, bro. Like when they link, bro, it's like you know, it's
So I got a question. I have a question for you. My business partner, she's from I want to say San Jose.
Yeah, South Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the Bay? What is the Bay Area considered? For those who may not know.
People ask me this shit all the time, bro.
Because we go back and forth.
Whether or not San Jose is the Bay?
I don't know, so I can't speak on it. So I need some.
You can't
some
say San Jose. Not you can't. Look, I'm damn near on the spectrum with this shit, bro. Like for me, it's literally defined, like where the county lines are, what the Bay Area is. The Bay Area got 4 sections, bro. It's north, south, east. There is no West Bay because that's San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? So the South Bay is the peninsula. You know what I'm saying? The North Bay is what you would consider marine. The East Bay is Oakland. You know what I'm saying? The issue is like it's a very proud place. the Bay Area, bro. So
big time.
So what you'll find is people will say, man, well, this ain't the, you know what I'm saying? This part ain't the Bay, or that part ain't the Bay, or it ends there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's a lot of things associated with each part of the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? But the thing for me is, I never want to exclude a part of it because when you do that, you start to exclude people that really are from the Bay. You know what I'm saying? Like, if somebody say, "Hey, the North Bay ain't the Bay," that's Marin, right?
Yeah.
But then Pac ain't from the Bay because Pac was from the jungle in Marin City. You know what I'm saying? It's a project in Marin. You know what I mean? Like, so if somebody say San Jose ain't the Bay, then that means Trax a Million ain't from the Bay.
Okay.
Trax a Million made all of the beats from the hyphy movie.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So as soon as somebody gets to telling you what ain't the Bay, like, it's certifiable what it is and what isn't. It's a geographical region. Okay. You know what I mean? Like so.
I'm glad you cleared that up for me, man. She listening to this. I'm glad you cleared that shit.
Bro. Like the best thing I can compare it to, my bro, is New York.
Okay.
Like, you hear people say, "Man, Staten Island ain't New York."
Okay,
man. How many times
Staten Island?
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
so Wu-Tang ain't New York.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, now you talking crazy. You feel me? But the Bay do a lot of that too. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to get that off.
Yeah, I always thought it was the bridge. I thought the bridge was separated from.
No, the bridge connected.
Yeah.
San Jose is the Bay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, San Jose is most definitely the Bay.
Shout out to Bay.
Eric Gordon just hit a game winner.
Yeah.
And I literally, we was watching the game winner. I said, bro, I know everything that's coming out of his mouth right now. And that shit was muted. That thing was running though. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, he gonna let you hear it. You feel me? You know how I go. You used to hoop.
I know, yeah. And I know how the Bay Area talk.
Ryan, what kind of basketball fan are you, man? Like, how do you enjoy the game? Are you like
what you mean?
Are you somebody who's animated on the sidelines?
Yes, sir.
Are you very intuitive? Like, what is it like watching the game?
I'm right on the edge. That's where I'm at, bro.
You
like,
spike on the edge, or you spike over?
Spike a different breed.
He over, but like
Spike a different breed.
It's different.
I ain't never had nobody.
He's a blessed basketball fan though. He saw both sides. He saw the Warriors when they weren't good.
Yeah, he's still a fan. You know, he's a true fan.
See, the thing is, bro, I was an athlete for a very long time.
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna never challenge a athlete manhood or nothing like that on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never be disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, but I am going, you know what I'm saying, cheer my team on.
Cheer for the Warriors.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel like somebody can't guard somebody,
you don't say it.
I'm gonna say, hey man, he can't hold you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rightfully
Like,
so though. Rightfully so.
Like, Draymond running to the crowd screaming, he's screaming back in his face. Like,
but I ain't gonna never call somebody out their name or disrespect somebody. And the reality is, I know the difference between me and these people. These is elite athletes. Like, I'll shoot movies for a living now. I'm gonna get my ass beat if I say the wrong shit. You know what I mean? So, like, in front of my wife, you know what I mean? And then it's gonna get real bad. I got 100 niggas that every game I got 100 niggas that know me. So now it's
you know you tapped that out there.
Yeah, bro. So it's gonna be Malice at the Palace type shit. You know what I mean? So
Chase up the gun. Ain't no beef. Ain't no beef with the court side, man.
I ain't gonna never. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. I want everybody to get home safe.
It's respectful.
Yeah, like, you know, I love it though, bro. Like, I love it. You know what I'm saying? And they like I said, them dudes know me. You know, one of the highlights of my fandom, bruh. Like, on everything I love. Like, I done had Steph hit game winners and come high five me and my wife. You know, I done had Bron pull up to the game. I mean, I done pull up to the playoff games with Bron and him. And, you know, he'll cook. He'll cook 3 niggas in a row, score, and they'll point right to me and right to me and Zenzi. But one of the highlights of my fandom, bro, was me and her. We pulled up to Klay's first game back when he went to Dallas, and they got us all his boating captain hats. Man, the whole stadium cheering, man. And Klay, you know, to know Klay, you know he's emotional. But like, one of his things is to be ice cold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know if he could see me. You know what I'm saying? He was courtside. I'm cheering for him, screaming for him. You know, he a god to us. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
You know, me and Zenzi was at the game 6 in OKC, bro. We flew to Oklahoma. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he did what he did.
And he became Game 6 Klay.
Bro.
Yeah.
And, you know, so man, bro, I'm talking tip off time. Steph doing this, he touching the baskets and sprinting and all this shit, man. And I feel a tap. And I look up, bro, and it's Klay, bro. He come and give me a hug, bro, before the game start. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, bro, like I feel blessed to be able to afford some tickets and be able to be there for him and to know that it means something to him. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Especially for us. Like when it's authentic and it's organic and it's real, you get that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see
it's
you see a lot of athletes run out, you're like, what he talking to over there? But it's just a different level of respect. It's we know it's super authentic, it's organic, it's natural, it ain't forced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's supporting us, we support him.
Yeah.
And eventually that just gonna continue to keep getting bigger. So we
bro.
As athletes, I speak for all athletes when, you know, guys like yourself or any celebrity from any other lane or genre come to the games and really be a fan and even of their team though. Like be a fan, like say shit to us. Like we don't mind that on the opposing team. It's respect. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we love to see that. It's like, oh shit, Ryan Coogler coming to the game tonight. Word? Oh shit, I bet. Cool.
Yeah.
Like that's the conversations that be happening.
Yeah, bro.
Nice.
That's it's a lot of respect between entertainment and sports.
You know, we have something on the show we like to call the 7 p.m. moment.
Yep.
And as a player, 7 p.m. was usually time that Melo would lock in before the game, before the ball goes up. So we use the 7 p.m. moment on this show as a way for our guests to take us back to a specific time, like a crossroads in their life where they, you know, a moment became a game changer, you know? So Ryan, I'd love to ask you, what was your 7 p.m. moment in your career?
I think a big one for me was actually my senior year. My senior year of football. Going into it, we had gotten a new coach. We had gotten a new offensive system. I was feeling really good. You know, we having summer workouts and I was faster than I'd ever been, stronger than I'd ever been. You know what I'm saying? Everything was clicking.
Yep.
And I had known that I wanted to apply to film school. But I was doing so well. I never said this all out.
It's the couch. It's the couch.
It's the couch to do it, man.
Yeah. I was doing so well on the field that I was like, man, I know for sure I could go play in Canada. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I might be able to, you know what I'm saying? I might be able to have a season I might be able to really go. You know what I mean? And we was doing 7-on-7s. You know what I mean? Like trying to get our timing down and it was a guy who wanted to walk on. And our DBs didn't want to come out there. They wasn't ready yet. They was like, man, y'all need to get y'all timing down. Our DBs was real solid, real confident. It was like, man, y'all need to get y'all timing down. But we was ready to go. So we started to get some of the walk-ons to come out, you know, so we could get a feel for it. And it was a young man who was walking on, and he was all that safety one day. Man, this had to be like July. And yeah, bro, I called a post. And after 2 steps after cut, like while I was tucking it, he came and he collided with me. Mm-hmm. And some of my homies said it was his elbow. I think it was his head, but I ended up breaking my zygomatic arch in 3 places.
Damn.
So I caught the pass 2 steps and everything went white. I was still conscious though. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't get knocked out, but it was just the pain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and I remember I was on one of my homies from Long Beach, my homie T Bake. He was playing slot on the other side, and I remember him like I was coming to, and I was hearing him, "Oh no, cuz we gonna have to whip this nigga ass, cuz." over there.
You seeing white, they seeing red over there.
We gonna have to whip this nigga ass, cuz. And I'm like, I'm hearing it's 50-50 on whether they gonna beat this dude up. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hear my homies debating. He was saying, no, it was my head. And then T-Bag like, man, fuck that shit, cuz it was your elbow, nigga. Like, don't start lying. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting there on the you know, and our coaches was not supposed to be watching, but they was watching. Like they was
off season workouts.
Yeah, it's like it's effectively like OTAs, and it's illegal for the coaches to be there. But what they would do is they would drive on them golf carts as if they was dropping stuff off back and forth. They watching, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, if they see them, these is new coaches. I'm saying if they see them stump this dude out on this field, bro, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
like for everybody. And that was where it was.
Season.
That was where it was leaning, because my homie Bake was a hothead, and he was, you know what I'm saying, he was upset, you know. So I'm calming them down. I'm like, hey man, like y'all chill, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the coaches are, you know, y'all chill, and I go into the athletic lounge. And I see a dent in my face. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, this can't be good. Went in and they said, you know, it's broken. They could do plastic surgery, which would put me out for the year. But it would restore my face, but it would take a metal plate. It would never be as strong again.
Wow.
And they were saying, or I could let it heal on its own. I would have to be out like 8 weeks of non-football activity.
Non-contact.
But in my face might look a little misshapen, you know what I'm saying? But it would be just as strong, if not stronger.
Okay.
You know, and how the timing worked out, I would start fall camp maybe a few days late, you know what I'm saying? But I'll be able to play the whole season. So I said, man, I'm gonna do that. Let the coaches know, and it was all good. They kept my starting spot and everything, but it was a moment in time where I couldn't do any football activities. I could lift, I could run, but I couldn't be out there with my teammates. And it was almost as if like something was telling me that I needed to work on that film school application, because I got so confident with ball that I was putting it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then for them weeks, I had nothing else to do, but you know, but lift and work out and get that application in. You know what I'm saying? And because I got that application in at that time, it kind of set me on the path that I'm on now. If I had been delayed even by a semester, but I was convinced, bro, it would have been more than that. Like I would have kept playing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I would have been.
You would have kept pushing.
Even if you didn't get hurt, the season he was about to have.
Yeah, and I was comfortable with football, bro. Even though my mind was wavering towards film, it was what I was used to. You know what I mean? Like in
this is still new and different film.
Yeah,
Football's familiar.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I got that app in, ended up getting accepted, you know, and then I quit ball and I moved to LA and like for real, I wouldn't have met Mike B when I did. I wouldn't have been able to get in that window with Sylvester Stallone and make Creed. And the biggest thing is I wouldn't have never met Chadwick. You know what I'm saying? If the timing wasn't right where it was, because he ended up passing at, you know what I'm saying? He ended up passing at 43 years old. You know what I mean? Like everything was like, you know, because I did one movie after another.
You was knocking them out.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like so that was my 7 p.m. moment, I would say, that injury.
Man.
You know, it was a big blessing in disguise.
I've watched a lot of your interviews and the way you talk about how much sports and football has influenced your life creatively. I think a lot of people that watch the show, people that relate to Melo, could relate to that story as well, because there's so much of sacrifice that comes in team sports that you need to sort of have when it comes to creating some of these blockbusters that you've made. You know?
Bro.
And I'd love to just hear you just talk more about that football experience and how that relates to your creativity, your creative side as well.
Look, truthfully, bro, with the exception of, you know, academia, which has stakes, but it's not the stakes that sports has.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was all I had done. Football was all I knew. You know what I'm saying? Like in you know, the stakes of, I was a receiver mostly, but I played DB too. I returned kicks. But the stakes of, you know, look, bro, I was the best receiver on my team for most of the years I played receiver. And even then, you maybe get, if it's a good game and your quarterback is in rhythm and shit clicking, you maybe get 10 opportunities to catch a pass, you know what I'm saying, and affect the game. You might be on the field for 60 offensive plays, you know what I'm saying? And whether it's a slant, a out route, a screen pass, or a post, or a corner, you know what I mean, or a go route, you every time that ball is in the air, you know, it's your opportunity to either show up for your team or let them down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that feeling when you drop the ball, or God forbid you catch it and you fumble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a feeling you don't want.
bro.
It's a long run to the sideline.
Bro. and your homies looking at you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like cool, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like in thankfully for my career, the moments was few and far in between, but they happened, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you think about those things, bro. And in this game, I get the opportunity to show up, and I'm also kind of like a coach. You know what I'm saying? I'm also like presenting opportunities for my collaborators to be there, and I think back on what the difference was between a great coach and a coach that wasn't so great. You know what I'm saying? I can remember how bad coaches made me feel. You know what I mean? Like I can remember that. Like those moments are seared into my psyche, maybe even more than the ones that I've had with coaches that made me feel empowered. Wow. And I'm also fueled by the desire to never make somebody feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Like even if somebody fucks up, like to not rub their nose in it. You know what I mean? And make sure that they can. You
got to coach people up,
catch them before they go in the tank. You know what I'm saying? And I try to communicate with my collaborators in ways that are individual. Because I can remember what it felt like to be put on the spot by a coach, even with a compliment. you know what I mean? Like and what that feels like. Yeah, bro. Like it's the only thing I can fall back on. That's not what it is. And I will tell you, bro. Like it always frustrates me when sports references are applied to things that ain't sports. You know what I mean? Like, I always find that shit like incredibly disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like when they talk about it's this.
I was gonna say, give me an example.
Oh man, they every year they say, it's this season. You know what I'm saying? Or you fill in the blank. You know what I'm saying? But it was they in competition for this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, stop it. You know what I mean? Because like it's not a season for us. Like I'm gonna make a movie, and it's gonna always be there for you to enjoy and like
You mean like it's Oscar season? And,
sure.
But I mean,
fill
it feels like
Grammy season.
I feel like
All-Star Weekend.
Fill in the blank, bro. And for me, it's like they say competition, and they'll bring up other filmmakers or y'all, and I'm like, man, stop it, bro. Because like as an athlete, bro, when I showed up, it was another motherfucker there, just as good as me, if not better, whose job it was to stop me from doing what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm if I'm really doing well, they would shadow me.
That's a fact.
They'll put their best DB, on me, no matter if I went to field side or short side.
Yeah.
And that DB would stand there, and just like it was my job to catch the pass, man, it was his job to keep me from doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for us as artists, the thing that's standing in between us and the finished product is usually time and money. But it's not another individual that's there every day. You know what I'm saying?
That you gotta try to beat.
That's trying to stop me or
bro, you gotta figure out.
Bro, sports, motherfucker trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
Like they'll high five him for knocking Melo out the game. You know what I'm saying? Like the enforcer on the other team is trying to make you. It's trying to hurt you. So you know what I'm saying? So in this business, when I start hearing, hey man, it's the season or it's the competition, I'm like, man, hold on, man.
So you having that sports kind of understanding and knowledge, right? And comprehension of how sports and teams should be ran and what you should be doing and each individual in their role. And good coach, bad coach, right? So you taking all of that information and experience into anything else that you're doing. Like, have you seen or experienced that before when it came to you knowing the landscape of sports, you knowing the roles and you trying to implement that into either filmmaking, but there's a bad coach. So have you ever experienced a bad coach while you filmmaking?
On my team?
Yeah, just on your team, you filming the movie.
Yeah, it's been times where cause it's kind of built on a paramilitary system in many ways. It's and it's most like football in that, you got the head coach and then you got an offensive coordinator who is kind of like the head of the receivers coach, the offensive line coach, the kickers. And then you have a coach underneath them who, you know, the receivers coach, is responsible for maybe the 8 receivers that's on the roster. That, you know, like that breakdown like that.
Of course.
So we have departments in filmmaking, and we have department heads. You know what I'm saying? And what you'll find is sometimes that there are communication issues that's coming up maybe in a department, and it could have it could be any host of things that's at the root of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe folks don't feel like this person is right for the job, or people aren't used to maybe the person's style. You know what I'm saying? And then you know, if it comes all the way up to me to hear about it, then I might have to go step in and help navigate that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I've been working with the same team for a long time in most cases, and you know, we know each other, man. We felt each other out, and we generally are good there. You know? And if anything has ever arisen, we can usually figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it's just it's interesting. I asked that question because it's a lot of similarities between the courtroom and the boardroom, or in business, or wherever sport it is.
Yeah.
Like when you building a team, and you know the right roles that people really need to play, and you can utilize the analytics to what you need to utilize it for, but also you get an opportunity to have an eye test on who's really good.
Yeah.
Right. So it comes down to who you think is really good. Now, I don't give a fuck what they say.
Right.
Yeah.
The analytics may say something else, but I feel like this is the guy, or this is the girl that.
But also, like, the thing that for me, from being an athlete, that I know is like, and it's the thing with that I knew, thankfully, at a young age from sports, is the blind spots that perspective can have. Because like people like, for instance, I did Fruitville, and then I moved into the studio system, and the studios sometimes wanted to challenge the department heads that I worked with, because the budget was smaller.
Yeah.
So they would want me as a director, but they would say, "Hey man, we're gonna put you some experienced department heads around you." And I say, "Well, what about these people I just worked with on this smaller film?" "Oh nah, man, they don't got the experience for this budget size. Right. So we want you to get these new folks who we used to working with, and we feel comfortable, right? You know, managing this budget, and it was my job to push back and say, no, I want to maintain these people because you want to work with me because my movie's good, and these people help me make this movie. So they position is looking at it like, oh yeah, like we want him, but not the people that was around him. You know what I'm saying? And like I got a lot of glue, like we all call it glue guys, like the people who helped me win, who is not as flashy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I knew them kind of cats on my team. Like you might see the quarterback like the shit up for 500 yards. And you say, man, that quarterback is great. But what I know is our left tackle is incredible. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The reason he would, you know, some of these big games came on his third and fourth check down. You know what I'm saying? That man, he had all the time in the world because his tackle was so great. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, or we got a slot who he can throw a hitch to, who breaks his 70 yards. You know what I'm saying? You looking at the stats, see, oh, this dude had a 70-yard pass. Well, bro, he threw a bubble screen.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like,
and he got blocking all the way down the field.
Yeah, we have downfield blocks, and you know what I'm saying. So it's not what you see on the page. Like I have a great production designer, I have a great composer, I have a great picture editor. These people coming with me. You know what I mean? If you want to hire me,
this is what you get.
Yeah, this is you know what I'm saying. And that aspect of it definitely came from sports. You know what I'm saying?
That's incredible to hear, because I hear so much of creatives that come from the athletic endeavors that use everything to relate it to sports, and you kind of make it the opposite. You're like, nah, this is different. This is, you know, like
some parts is different, some parts is similar.
There's some difference and some similarities.
A lot of some of the noisy people say, so I'm like, oh, I'm tripping. Man. But yeah, like yeah, no, a lot of it. I mean, like, bro, that's the only other thing I've done, bro. You know, and absolutely love what I do. It's because of that. You know what I'm saying? I will say.
The NBA Finals are in full swing, so you know we had to get it right with FanDuel. FanDuel is the best place to find all your favorite player props, and now you can make the smarter play with new performance trends. Want to see if a guy's hitting that over consistently, or maybe they've been flirting with a potential triple-double? Get the latest stats right inside the app and see who's heating up. And once the game starts, that's when things get interesting. You can combine live prop bets to the same game parlay for a chance to win big. If you don't already have FanDuel, it's not too late to get in on the action. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/7PM to join today. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. If you're loving watching players get buckets, then you're gonna love this promo from Dash Pass. This playoffs, Dash Pass members will receive a special promotion every time a player scores 50 points or more in the game.
All right, listen up, because this is a Dash Pass members only deal. So sign up today and save more all year round with $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees on eligible orders. Plus perks like this one.
When a player scores 50 or more points during the playoffs, Dash Pass members will score a free 3-piece crispy tender combo from Wingstop. To claim the deal, just place a 3-piece crispy tenders combo from Wingstop in your cart. Make sure your cart has a subtotal of $20 or more and drop in the promo code Wingstop50 at checkout. Then place your order and enjoy.
Again, make sure you use the promo code Wingstop50 the day after the 50-point game. The offer is valid with use of promo code from noon to midnight the day after a 50-point game on eligible orders at participating merchants. You must have an active Dash Pass account. Terms apply.
So sign up for Dash Pass today for your chance to take part in this exclusive DoorDash deal. They swoosh, you save.
We got to talk about Sinners, man. I know.
Yeah, bro.
I know we've been meaning to have this conversation
y'all had
for a while.
Spike on talking about it, bro. I just seen the trailer, bro.
I heard it's crazy, though.
It's the lowest.
Bro,
bro,
Spike said this is the one.
Bro, I'm so hyped for this dude, bro. Like, that trailer, bro.
Yeah.
The monologue Denzel doing, bro. Can you handle this? Can you handle that?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, he in rare form, bro. I'm finna see his tonight. And I just can't put into words how excited I am, man. Because when him and Denzel get together, bro.
Yeah, that's magic.
It's always a masterpiece, bro.
Yeah.
It's always a masterpiece, bro.
You kind of compared their relationship to yours.
That's
and
a
Michael
fact.
B. Jordan's.
We talked about that.
Man, that's an honor to even be mentioned in the same breath as those guys. They both are heroes of mine. They both have become mentors for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Spike is just such a great example, bro. Like how to live a life as an artist, as a black artist. You know what I mean? Like in rest in peace, John Singleton, bro. You know what I'm saying? Them two dudes, man. When I would tell people that I wanted to be a filmmaker, they would bring those guys up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my Gmail got Filmworks in it because of you know what I'm saying, because of 40 Acres in the Mule.
That's a fact.
How'd you feel when Spike was he was on the show and he said it was the greatest cinematic experience he's had in a long time watching Sinners? Sat right on that couch and said that.
I mean, he gave me some of the greatest. I mean, he gave us as human beings some of the greatest. I mean, look, bro, I don't want to bring up his old work while he about to make.
That's a fact.
You know, like something like while he's
Some
about to
new
put
heat.
something out.
Yeah,
but I think that Malcolm X is the most important American film ever made.
Mm-hmm.
No question. To bring up another to mention other films that are as great as his film, you got to bring up Godfather. These are fictional characters for the most part. You got to bring up Citizen Kane, which is a spinoff of a real guy, but it's also fictional.
Guy, yeah.
Like, and none of those mobsters that the Godfather is based on, or the guy Citizen Kane is based off of. I think it's William Randolph Hearst or something like that, who Citizen Kane is based off of loosely. I don't think they were as important Americans as Malcolm X was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like just in general, like
there's a heaviness that comes with even making
like
a
what
movie
what Malcolm X is.
Yeah,
you know, and as a representation of what this country is. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he and Denzel and Delroy Lindo and Giancarlo Esposito and Angela Bassett made that fucking movie, bro. At the time when they made it in.
Yeah, it was different.
And the fact that it opens like it opens, bro. Spike got two of the best movie openings ever. The Do the Right Thing opening.
Yeah, that was
Rosie
epic.
Perez, right?
And Malcolm X.
Masterful opening. And Malcolm X, bro. Like that opening is not like nothing lights you on fire.
Cinema.
Yeah, nothing lights you on fire like that. You know. And I was a child watching that shit with my daddy, bro. Opening night. You know what I'm saying? And so for me to give Spike, you know, a cinematic experience, I'm just paying him back with interest, bro.
No.
You know what I mean? That's it.
That's incredible.
You know, but it meant the world to me to hear him say that, bro. Like, you know, Brock cried, bro.
Man.
I had to hide my. He was jumping around like Spike. You know what I mean? Like he was jumping around.
2 feet.
I
His
was wiping tears on my eyes, bro.
Wow.
Like I'm sitting in the IMAX theater showing Spike Lee a movie, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like. He likes it. Come on, bro.
That's hard for Spike.
We all liked it, man. We all.
But for Spike to like it,
Yeah,
He's very honest.
yeah, he's very
honest.
brutally
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
And I said I was so excited to have you here, especially at the time we got you here, because we could talk about the movie now, all right? So if y'all watching at home and you still haven't seen Sinners, you can pause right here. You can hit the fast forward on the next the next topic. But
And if you haven't seen it, go see it.
If you haven't seen it, but if you have, stick around. We're gonna get a little spoilerish right now, Ryan. For a movie that's damn near perfect to many. You know what I mean? 98% of Rotten Tomatoes. You have some of the greatest filmmakers praising it.
It just mean like 98% of the critics like more than they didn't. That's all I mean.
That's hard to do, though.
It's a great metric.
That's hard to do.
It's a great metric. Let's keep it all the way real, man.
Yeah.
Do you feel that Sinners is your best work yet?
When you got heat,
That catalog is already crazy.
No, I can't judge it like that, bro. I can't sit on this podcast and answer that question. Like look, I had to like prescribe to a certain thought process just to keep myself sane and continuously productive. You know, bro, it's a school of thought, bro, where you know your cells are constantly like replenishing themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like just as you sitting here, so like. You can make the argument that, you know, you're not the same person a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and you shouldn't be.
And you shouldn't be, bro. And you shouldn't be. And that's a big thing, that I've had to fight, bro. Like, it's funny because we talked about me moving from Oakland to Richmond. Like, I've had people ask me, "Hey, bro, are you from like at the crib?" They used to ask me in a more threatening manner. You know what I'm saying? Are you from Oakland or from Richmond? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, now people ask me. In a manner that's prideful because they want to claim me. You know what I'm saying? And it's a struggle as a black man to actually have a nuanced conversation and say I'm actually from both places. You know what I mean? And it's a part of our circumstance and culture that we try to freeze ourselves in time. You know what I'm saying? Like to stay that, hey man, he changed, man, or he switched up. You know what I'm saying? Like these things that.
But you know, part of that is from a pride of being able to claim someone who's great.
It is, but it's also a little bit of it is a part of I would argue a little bit of it is a part of the short-sightedness that comes with being under attack from a government that's so powerful for so long that our life expectancy is shortened. You know what I'm saying? Like it becomes natural for you to not look around and see a lot of old men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like see what it looks like to age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To shift and to slow down and to gain new habits and new things that interest you. You know what I'm saying? So for me, bro, I can say to you that when I was 24, 25 years old, I made the best movie that I could when I made Fruitville. When I was 27, 28, I made the absolute best movie I could as a 28-year-old when I made Creed. when I was 30, made the best movie that I could with Black Panther. When I was 35-ish, 34, 35, made the best movie that I could with Wakanda Forever.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 37, 38, I made the best movie that I could at that time with Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
Each time I was being the most honest that I could. I was doing the best that I could with what I had. You know what I'm saying? So and like look, bro, like I didn't have no kids when I made my first 3 movies. My second kid was born while I was making my second one. I just lost the person that the movie was
Mm-hmm.
who played the titular role.
on,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Was going through a pandemic and you know what I'm saying? This movie was not made under those circumstances. I was also not a kid when I made this movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which I was when I made Fruitvale. Like a lot of Fruitvale is my own youthful like idealism. You know what I'm saying? My naivety is in that movie. You know what I'm saying? I made this movie I made when I was damn near 40 years old. Like I got a pretty good idea of who I am. You know what I'm saying? Of what I like. You know what I mean? But I think it's a fool's errand for me to try to compare them, bro. And the reality is, bro, the movies ain't for me, bro. That's for for y'all now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I done had my 2 years with them and shaped them and now they y'all's, bruh. So y'all get to say, hey man, I like this one better than that one. This one sucked, but I fuck with this one. You know, that's for y'all. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
You said you didn't have no kids when you made your first 2 movies. How did fatherhood change the way you created your films?
Well, to be honest with you, my first movie made me want to be a father. You know what I'm saying? I made a movie about a young man who was murdered by a police officer. Cold blood on digital cameras. And the first thing he said when he realized he had been shot was, "Hey man, I got a daughter." And me and this young man, Oscar Grant, rest in peace. We was about the same age. You know what I mean? And I didn't have no kids. And while his daughter was 4 years old when he was murdered. And by the time I was making the movie, she was like 8 years old, like old enough to have a full blown conversation with me about her dad. Man, that young woman has children of her own now. You understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah, of course.
And each milestone of her life, she has to be reminded that her dad is not there for it. You understand what I'm saying? And when I was breaking down a relationship, this fundamental relationship, for Michael B. Jordan to portray it, I was finding pictures, bro. This dude was taking his daughter everywhere.
Yeah.
He was taking her everywhere, bro. She was always with him. You know what I'm saying? And just the process of making that movie, I was like, oh man, bro. Like, I think I want kids. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know before then. You know what I'm saying? I was also like, bro, I think I want a daughter. You know what I'm saying? And then God ended up blessing me with one. You know what I'm saying? Shortly after. And so yeah, bro, like, each time I make a movie, it changes me, bro. You know what I mean? It opens me up to something and makes me realize something about myself, but yeah, like making this movie as a father, I put a lot of myself into it, man. And the character, it's a spoilers.
Spoiler alert. But we go so through it.
Yeah. So for me, and this come from a conversation I had with another filmmaker who's from Brooklyn, who's from Bed-Stuy, still lives in Bed-Stuy. His name's Shaka King.
Of course. Shout out to Shaka.
Yeah, Shaka wrote and directed a film we produced called Judas and the Black Messiah. Still one of the artistic achievements that it was a defining artistic achievement for us to even be involved with that film.
Yeah.
Us being Proximity Media, my wife Zenzi and my homie Sev's production company. We produced that with Charles King's Macro.
Absolutely. Shout out to Charles King too.
And shout out to Chairman Fred Jr. Chairman Fred Jr. in Chicago and Maywood. Big shout out to him. Because he was an intricate part of that process. And for me, in our conversation with Shaka, I had one time, we were talking about how character can be formed through backstory, but the most elite form of characterization is through behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like what is the character doing on screen? And we actually had that conversation talking about Michaela Cole's "I May Destroy You," which is a phenomenal example of that. Like you know, you never really hear what happened to these characters before, but you seeing them do
through
things.
actions. You
See them do. You see them do actions, and you know, through our shared humanity, we can fill in the blanks. You know, and for me, you know, I went through these characters and I kind of defined, man, what are these guys? Like if you held them by the shoulders, what would they tell you they were if you asked them what they were? And then what is the lie? Like what do they think they are inside that they too afraid to say? You know what I'm saying? And for the twins, it was very important for me to define those things. And for Smoke, what he would say he is, if you grabbed him by the shoulders and say, "Hey man, what are you?" He would tell you, "I'm a soldier." You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I am. He actually says it in the movie. The twins say what they think, what they would want to say they are in the movie.
Yep.
But deep down, what he is a father. You know, that's what he wouldn't articulate. You know what I'm saying? And that for me with the movie was, man, how much can I show that that's what he is to the audience before we get into that scene where he lays the flowers down on that grave. You know what I'm saying? Like how can we signal to the audience that this is what this guy is? So when you see him in every scene, that's what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He's being a dad. You know, if that makes sense. And that for me, this is the first film I think that I was making when I actually knew how to be a father, so I can inform that character in the writing. I can inform him in the direction. You know what I'm saying?
Even in the opening scene when the young man walks into the church, and you know it's the end of the beginning at the end sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, hold on, but that's that. So going back to Spike though.
Yeah.
Right. When you talk about opening scenes.
Yeah.
Like that's a you know, not to say that it's Spike-esque, but that's like that is a Spike move. Right, to really grab you from the very beginning. Most movies you gotta wait a couple of minutes. You get your popcorn, you get your like it. As soon as you walk through that, as soon as he walked through the door, he was like this. Oh shit! Like okay, where is this going? Yeah. So that it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. As far as who we watch and who we kind of idolize and who we learn from and take and study from, and we can incorporate that into our artistry. Like that's the way it should be done, and that's the way you should be paying homage. You know, back. If I'm not saying he did that, but right. If that was the case, that's a sick ass way to really pay homage back to. Yeah, totally. You know, somebody who kind of paved that way.
For me, I'm all about that feeling. Like in my advanced age. That's the difference between me now and me as a younger filmmaker, I would say. Is like when I was young, I didn't know enough to understand that the best thing I could do for our audience is communicate a feeling. I think I still was accomplishing that. You know what I'm saying? But like unconsciously, I think. You know what I'm saying? And now I understand like that the feeling is enough. You know what I'm saying? Like the feeling is more than enough.
Yeah, but the feeling you portrayed in this movie, and I talked to Spike about it when he was here too, was like he felt like you created a new genre when you made.
That's what Spike said. Oh yeah, he did say that.
Yeah. So he felt like that. Like we said, like if you look,
norms, man. Yeah.
Right. Like if you look on the TV guide, whatever, it might come up as horror. Yeah. But like, there's so many elements throughout that movie.
Well, the thing is, like, the movie had to be at war with the concept of genre. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had to. We had to wage war on that concept just because of what the movie is about. With the movie being about music that was being made in the 1930s. You could make the argument that a lot of things are at war with blackness now. In 1930s, there was no argument. you know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely was a war.
Yeah. Like it was, everything was at war with blackness at that time. You know what I'm saying? And the entertainment industry was no different. They were recording black people, and you know what the genre was for any music that came out of a black person's mouth at that time?
What was it? Race
records. That's what it was. Like, it was classified as a race record. So you know, a black artist, Ma Rainey, she recorded a record. Yeah, that is a race record. When you go to the record store to buy, you say, "Hey man, what a race record section?"
Yeah, Nina Simone.
You know what I'm saying? You pick it up there. white person meant rock and roll, bluegrass, the country. Black folks, race records. Race records became blues, that became R&B, that became jazz, became gospel.
And then there's that magical scene in the movie where you're going through all those genres. But
the hip hop.
But the thing is like the concept of genre is based off the human instinct to want to categorize. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as somebody is doing that, categorizing, it's a strong chance that black people finna end up on the shit end of the stick.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as you want to say, all right, this is because then you putting things in order and you adding value to certain things. And if you got a record store with one group of records, they can't all be in the front. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to go to the back of the record store. Well, guess where the race records are gonna go? The motherfuckers might be outside. Yeah. you know what I mean? And so in the music industry predates the film industry. You know what I'm saying? So the film industry is a new industry at the time when it was coming out. And what industries are they looking to? Oh, okay, with vaudeville, they do things a certain way, and the music business, they do things a certain way. Straight up, they got award shows for plays. They got award shows for music. Man, how do we make ourselves taken serious? Well, we should let's do what they do. Let's have an award. Like that's literally how it happens. So when they start to categorize movies with genres, okay, this is a horror movie. This is a drama. This is a comedy. You know what I'm saying? This is a documentary. Like when they start to do that, well, what happens? The ranking happens again, right? The associations, man. This is artistic, and this is bullshit. And this
you can't make the comedy get best picture.
You can't. All of these things start to happen. You know what I'm saying? And
fucking with the psyche,
man. Straight up. And then what happens when black people in these movies now?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's
a black movie. We can't take this serious.
This is a hood movie. Yeah. Or this is you know what I'm saying? Like you know you see where I'm coming from. For me to make a movie about inarguably America's greatest contribution to global popular culture. You know what I'm saying? If I was gonna make a movie about that, the movie had to kind of rage against the system that put this art form down and hid it in the closet and made it so that we don't really know the reality. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And I like to that point, you didn't just do that with the story to me. Yeah. You didn't just do that with the quote unquote race records. Yeah. Right? That music, our music. You didn't do that to that. You did it to Irish folklore. Like you was tapping into all of these different quote unquote genres and sounds and voices and messages at the same time, right? And experiences, individual experiences with the body and the mind and the soul. Yeah. So one of my favorite one of my best scenes in that was when old boy said, he was talking about his voice. He was like, his voice, man, I need his voice. I will become complete if I get that. Right now, I'm not complete. So I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get that voice. And I'm going to go out on a limb. And if I got to kill myself, I got to kill you. I got to get that to make me complete. Yeah. When I saw that shit, I'm like, think about how many people out there today and just in a time that thinks like that and operate, whether it's for them or anything else. Like, I got to get what's yours. I got to get that because I need that. Yeah. Fuck you having it. I gotta go get that.
And that can represent so many of the same things.
So it was so layered, right? And the fact that we're not just as a black community, black culture, musically dealing with something. The Asians is dealing with it. The whites is dealing with it. Like everybody is dealing with the same shit.
We are human beings, bro.
So for you to like crack that, it's genreless. You get what I'm saying? This shit is genre. It's a musical. Yeah. It's part musical. It's entertaining. It's comedic.
I appreciate y'all commenting like this, man.
We just real. I'm a real fan. We real fans.
It's a beautiful movie, man.
But when you touch on certain touch points in American culture and American history, and Black history and Black culture, and if we're not able to see that and understand that and comprehend that as a Black community, then we got a lot more work to do.
Yeah.
Because that right there showed you that it's one thing that can make us all, no matter where you from, come together. And it's sound, it's music.
Yeah.
It's emotion, right? It's how it's feeling.
And it's so immaterial, bro. You know, and that's the thing, like for me, you know, and the thing is, like, this movie is fueled by jealousy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm jealous of musicians, personally. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
I always wish you could play an instrument.
Oh man, bro. Like, I've never seen a great musician and not felt like, damn, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I know so many of them now. And they're a part of the fabric of my life. You know what I'm
You
saying?
got to collaborate with Ludwig Göransson for this, who's
he's
incredible.
one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
You know, our children are growing up together, and his wife is an incredible musician, bro. And like what they can do, bro.
Yeah.
Like you had Serena Göransson a violin, bro, and what she can do with that, and she'll do it casually, bro. Like sitting down. You know what I mean? Like in, you know, and Ludwig would grab a guitar casually, bro, and it's like seeing alchemy.
Walking. Yeah.
And also, bro, like I've seen him on stage, bro, and it's like he becomes somebody else. You know what I mean? Like when he really goes, you know, and for me, I had to accept that, like lean into like I'm you know, like I have to, my art form, bro. I gotta go get millions of dollars, bro, and anybody who gonna participate, they gotta put their life on hold, and come meet me in, hey man, meet me in New Orleans for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? And in a year and a half, maybe we'll have a movie. You know, like,
maybe.
It's a lot of trust.
Maybe it'd be good. You know what I'm saying? And like from the time I say, hey, I'm gonna make this movie, and by the time we finish, you know, like my son is literally a different person.
That's 2-3 years.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like he goes from having a few words to being like, hey, Dad, what's wrong with you today, man?
A whole different perspective.
And my daughter goes from, hey, I like Bluey to the other day. We go into the premiere and she like, hey man, when am I gonna see this movie? You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's dressing up. I'm getting tired of this. Seeing, you know, like the nanny goes and this dude goes, like, when am I going? You know what I mean? Like, no, straight up. Like literally like sat me and my wife down, like, so when am I seeing this thing that y'all been like, you know, missing for making, like what are we doing here?
So
you know what I'm saying?
the kids haven't been allowed to watch any of
this movie?
not this one.
Yo, nah, bro. And I say this as my daddy took me to see Boys in the Hood and Malcolm X. By the time I was my daughter's age, but I'm like, man, I'm not doing that shit, man. You feel me?
This is a little bit too deep to explain to your daughter at that age.
Yeah, bro.
As opposed to watching your back when you call, you know what I mean? Boys in the Hood and shit like that. You know, this is deep.
That was of the times.
That was of the times.
Yeah.
We got to go back to that time world. To explain that to you.
Different world. I ain't showing them Malcolm X neither, bro.
No.
Yeah.
Man, Ryan, it is time for you to join America's #1 segment in all of podcasting. You know what it is. Fuck with it or fuck out of here. Ryan, you know what it is. We're gonna go through a bunch of clips through our pop culture, social media, all that good stuff. If you're with it, you're fucking with it. If it's whack, you're getting it the fuck out of here. But this one's gonna be special because obviously it's all gonna have some sort of elements from the actors, the movies that you've got to touch throughout your career. First off, Denzel Washington. During his press run for Gladiator 2, Denzel Washington shared details about you two potentially working together on the highly anticipated Black Panther 3. Denzel is a huge fan, wants to work with Ryan before retirement, and he said, quote, I cried a little bit when I saw Black Panther. I saw the interview you had on The Breakfast Club a few weeks ago, talking about everything Denzel meant to Chadwick and the making of this movie. So fuck with it or fuck out of here. Denzel Washington, still a possibility to appear in Black Panther 3.
Oh, that's a big fuck with it.
Yeah,
big time, bro. Like, crazy.
You gotta put no brainer out there.
Yeah, that's
out your mind, bro.
You goddamn right,
bro.
But I feel like Denzel, not just in the MCU, but in that movie in particular, given the history, especially now what we know with everything Denzel's meant to Chadwick's life. It feels like a lot of people really want to see that happen. And where are we at with it?
What you mean? Where we at with it?
I'm trying to get a little. I'm trying to get a little exclusive.
I'm a little bit on the spectrum, my nigga. You gotta tell me exactly what you asked
So
me.
Black Panther 3. I mean, has there been conversations? Have you been writing roles in for? Is there a role specifically that you have in mind for Denzel? Or
All of that, bro. All of the above, bro. Yeah, all of the above. There's no fiction out there about that.
Oh man, but I'd love for you to just speak a little bit about more. You talked about how important it was for you to change and fill up for your film application while you were playing football, because you wouldn't have met Chadwick at that same time. You wouldn't have met Michael B. Jordan at that same time.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that Breakfast Club interview that you had a while ago when you were talking about how Denzel didn't even want people knowing that he paid for Chadwick to go to Oxford in the UK and really become Chadwick that we all know.
Yeah.
And sort of that full circle moment of him just, maybe saying it a little bit prematurely about being in Black Panther 3, but the excitement that he has as far as working with you.
Denzel is family at this point. I know his incredible wife, Pauletta. I know his children. You know what I mean? John David, Katia, Malcolm, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, and I've been trying to work with him since
day one.
Yeah. He on
the list.
I think he's the greatest living actor. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of like what he means to our culture, forget about it, man. I've been talking to him about this for a long time. I was surprised when he that when he mentioned it, but it's not like it's not true. You know what I'm saying? It's so much bullshit gets said bro, it's so much out there. You know how it is, bro. It's so much out there that's false.
Yeah. For
there to be a truthful thing out there,
I see all the fake Denzel pages. I'm like, Denzel never said
bro.
that. Why y'all?
It's shit. And I'm a nobody, bro. I'm D-list celebrity at best, and there's so much untruthful shit out there about me and my work and like what I'm about to do and you know what I'm saying, like bro, like it's bro. Like, they I don't even look at Wikipedia no more, bro, because so much shit is false. You know what I mean, and so like he said a truthful thing.
Yeah.
You can't debate that.
Yeah. Like there's no lies there.
You can't debate that. So we fucking with it.
100%.
I like that.
Yeah.
Last one, man. The good brothers over at RDC World, they're incredibly funny.
All them dudes.
Love those guys, man. They posted a skit about the limited options for the customization of black characters in video games, which has led to a larger observation that from Eddie Gordo in Tekken 8 to Miles Morales in Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation, gaming is still obsessed with giving characters what is now known online as the quote-unquote Killmonger cut.
Killmonger cut is crazy.
Some 7 years after Black Panther's release, fuck with it or fuck out of here. Video games overusing the Killmonger cut.
First and foremost, shout out to the homie Joshua Villa Jove Edmond out of Fresno, California. He is the architect of that cut. Incredible barber. I don't know if you know about about Fresno, but it's a city about halfway between the Bay and LA.
Yeah.
A lot of good homies from up out of there, bro. Actually, Josh Allen, who about to get married to our lovely actress Haley Steinfeld.
He from the Bills.
He from Fireball, like a few stops outside of Fresno. Nice. I got a lot of homies from the know. And Jove at the top of that list, incredible artist. But he designed that cut. And I remember all of the conversations we had about it, about the length of it and managing it. A lot went into that. Like making it literally how it was going to lay and how I was going to move around in his action scenes and so bro, I'm the fact that it still shows up, I think is awesome.
Yeah.
But bro, it's interesting, man. Like, cause I think as we get more people in certain industries, like in game design and game development, you'll see us reflected in the full scope of what we are. You know what I'm saying? And like that's you know, that's a real thing, man. I coming up playing video games, you know what I'm saying? Like playing NBA Live and 2K.
The first time I could get waves on NBA Live, I was like, finally.
That's what I'm saying, man. But it take a certain level of science to get us right. You know what I'm saying? And know how, you feel me? They used to have a cut called the close crop. NBA Live. I used to be like, bro, what the fuck is that, bro? Like I don't even recognize how is this? You heard this cut, bro? You trying to make a creative player? Give a nigga the close crop. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? How you get the names wrong?
I never asked for a close crop in my life.
Bro, that's always an option, bro.
Gumby with the red tail.
I'm like, bro, this is 90% of the league is black, bro. How is ball fade not an option? You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the Killmonger cut, man. Nah, Ryan, man, we gonna want to say thank you, brother.
Yeah,
not just for coming on the show, but for being a staple in our culture,
right?
And being the voice and the vision and being able to allow us as fans.
And never code switching too, man.
You know, and like to go, like just to step into your world, into your vision, into your artistry, man. I want to say thank you.
Right on,
for
bro.
allowing us to do that and to experience that. And
I appreciate you, bro.
Also from the 7 p.m. family, man, thank you for coming on this couch.
Man,
this is big.
Bro, thank y'all for having
Absolutely,
me, man. And I love, like I say, bro, I love what y'all doing, man. Like to see an athlete such as yourself, bro, make the transition and to do it honestly and holistically. Like I said, man, I think what y'all doing, you and your colleagues, bro, and how y'all making a space for yourselves to be your full selves and reflect. And I think that has had ripple effects all across the entertainment industry, but also the sports industry. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked a little bit about the NIL deals, you know what I mean? And the fact that these young athletes can use their talents to feed themselves and their families. I think y'all making this transition in the media played a part in opening up that lane. You know what I mean? And bro, I thank y'all for it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's an honor to be here, bro.
Indeed.
And I thank you for all of the years of artistry you gave us, bro, on that court, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like when you was talking about me channeling Spike, you know, I got no doubt in my mind you channeling Mike. You know what I mean? Like when you like just
mentality,
with the science, bro, the mid range and dominating in the triangle like that. You know what I'm saying? Like literally the art form. I look at it, you know, and you can draw that line. From players, you know, you draw that line from
lineage. It's the lineage
from Mike to you to Kawhi to DeRozan to you know what I'm saying to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Look, obviously Cole, you know what I'm saying, but even when I look at Shea and Brunson, you know what I'm saying, and how the league is transitioning back, you know what I'm saying, like from what Steph and them did with small ball, it's going back to what we came up with these bigs and these guys that know how to get a bucket.
Yeah,
you know,
and the physicality of it,
man. That's the science of it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like the science of, you know, like I played ball, but I know what you was doing, bro. You catch it and you seeing the clock and you looking at the feet. You know what I mean? You gotta get to you gotta get to your
athlete. You're an athlete, bro.
I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I you know what I mean? I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you for that, and also just for making this transition, bro. It's big. You know, it's big, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Well, and congratulations again on Sinners. It's in theaters right now. Actually. You will be able to stream it on streamers very soon too. Forgot the date. Very soon. But by the time it drops,
hopefully not too soon.
Maybe not too soon. But don't forget to support. Go see Sinners in theaters April 18th, which is now everywhere. A Wave original. This is 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, guys. Thank you so much. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to help the show grow. If you want to help the show rise in the charts, still be one of the best podcasts out, because you know it is. Make sure you do all of those things. For our guests, Ryan Coogler, the Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony. My name is Kazim Famiwide. We'll catch you next time on The Hook, people. Peace.
Peace.